guys, we're jumping back in this. We've powered through, and Roddy has provided us with a beverage from one of my all-time favorite breweries, Ozark Beer Company out of Arkansas. And this one is called the Hard Work, Honest Ozark Beer American Pale Ale, and it is really good.
Wow.
They have one of my favorite all-time beverages I've ever had, and it was a bourbon barrel aged Scotch ale, and I was brokenhearted when I went there. We had it, went back the next day, had it, thought I could buy a growler, and it was such a high percentage that you couldn't take it across state lines, so they wouldn't let me bootleg it, and so I just had to drink another and have my wife drive home. But Roddy, appreciate the beer, and we're going to go through a little bit more. And Roddy was just talking a little bit. Before we get started on what he's talking about, I'm going to give you an example of what Roddy works through. He was trying to come up with a particular word, and he kept saying populace, and he kept working, trying to reimagine what the word was, try to get it out. And it's just right there, that saying tip of your tongue, and it's just right there. And he keeps saying it. He's getting closer and closer. And sometimes he'll work through it, and every once in a while I'll throw in a guess. And the word he was trying to get was metropolis. So populous, metropolis. And, his mind is thinking of the word he wants to use. And, unfortunately, his mouth is going 50 and his mind's going 100. And sometimes they don't meet. But he got it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the important part. And it happens all the time. And that's part of working through what he's going through. And we've talked about it before. And, if you just let it happen, it can be, you're watching Roddy work his brain and go through that. And it could be something that adds to a relationship, adds to a conversation, rather than shying away from it, which is a little bit of Roddy's thinking as far as, a lot of his friendships kind of dropping off the face of the earth is. So help us out a little bit. But he was talking about a situation that goes through where he has a cycle where he was having these seizures that he's gone through. And you were telling me about the guy that basically had a seizure every time he was at a ballpark and the national anthem came on and it was sung, and he would have a seizure. And so, jokingly we said he might have been a communist, but that's not really right.
No.
It was something, whether it was the music, or maybe they did fireworks every time, or maybe they did flashing, who knows what the trigger was.
Yeah.
But you were talking about triggers.
Yeah, trigger.
And so you're not sure exactly what your trigger is, but you had what you called your witching hour, which is also a window of whatever. And tell us exactly what you mean by your witching hour. What does that mean?
So it's every month, and it's a window of it's a week. It's a week of just knowing that it's just that time of the day, at that time of the week.
Yeah.
It's the week.
We're not going to offend anybody, so
yeah.
As far as you're going.
And it's still not there trying to navigate, and not trying to still to see my.
Well, your doctor told you men have cycles.
Yes.
That's where you were trying to go, because that's what they told you.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right.
So it's like myself, I think I'm. Oh no!
Or like he was talking how it haunts him because he's waiting in anticipation. It's unfortunately, right. It's really become daunting every month that you come across this 2-week or week and a half time period. It's
1 week.
It's haunting to you.
Yeah.
It's literally like before you started using your device with the magnets, it was almost, okay, am I going to make it through this week without this happening? So that's where the witching hour and the haunting feeling that you just wouldn't leave him alone. And every once in a while you'd get lucky, right? And you'd pass through that. But the whole time you're thinking of it every day.
Yeah.
During that week, it's like major anxiety.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sleeplessness, and then let's talk about when you started using your device. How long a period did you go?
Well, it was still the device and the meds. are combining this, and still, once in a while, a seizure. It's at the same time. It's the same place. It's the same time. So, it's like, but they are my window. Like I said, my window is trying to figure out just to no seizures.
Right.
So I'm still trying to do this because it's I'm still trying to different types of meds and this and that and the other. The amounts and stuff.
Like you went when you were on some medication and you got your device, you had like a 3-month you want to call it grace period. And then it kind of unfortunately came back, and now you're making adjustments again with the medication and the mechanism, right? You up the okay, and
then is it 4 months now? 4 months is like, I think you can do that. I think I could battle
honed it in,
battle this, and it's like, and then just about a month ago, it was like, doing this seizure.
Forgive me, I can't remember. You had told me like the 3rd-ish week of each month, or is it the 2nd week of
it's the last month. It's the last month.
Okay.
It's the last month.
Okay. And listen, I mean, scientifically, there's got to be something there. It's not like this could happen this many months in a row at this time and just be a happenstance that it happens every single, so scientifically there's got to be something, triggering or, whatever the timing is. And it's, I can't imagine, not, first of all, not wanting to have the seizures because it keeps jamming you up.
Yeah.
Couldn't drive. When they say, okay, you had a seizure, now you got to wait this long. Okay, that's bad enough. But what about just what if a friend invited you to something during that week? Are you complete, it's like, well, I don't know. Can I do that or can I not?
Just buck it up. Buck it up. It's like
power through it.
Just power through it because, and in my seizures, it's called focal seizures, and a phenomenon of it's phenomenon because it can comprehend. No, it is just the word. It's it's continuing. It is I can hear, I can see it.
You sense it. Yeah.
It's not like just out of the blue. It's anyway.
Progressive. It starts.
Well, yeah, but it's in my little index finger, and it's twitching, and it'll slowly but surely it'll do my hand, and then it'll curl. And then maybe it'll be like my elbow, and then it'll be about minute and a half, and then it's gone. And that's simple.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still it's called a seizures.
Yeah. And then sometimes you kind of talked a little bit about almost like a ghost seizure, like it started, but then you were thinking maybe you just thought it. Maybe it wasn't really happening.
Well, that's because it's anxiety.
Right.
It's anxiety.
You couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So then you're getting tricked.
Yeah.
And relieved that it didn't happen.
Yeah. But it's like I can feel it though. Yeah. It's like, so at my summer, I was doing my volunteer work at the gym, and I was doing some I was going to do doing some toweling. I don't know, doing folding some laundry, and I can see it. I can feel it. It's like, now this is a mirage, or this is it's just in my head.
Yeah.
It's anxiety, and then out of the blue, I can feel it coming on, and it's like, now I'm angry. I am disappointed.
Right.
I am
got the frustrations.
Going. Now I'm depressed because it's the same stuff every time.
Right. That's what I say. Anyway, hey, I was wondering, we talked a little bit about childhood memories, and you kind of skated by. So I'm going to go and I want to ask you, who was your childhood or teenage, I'm going to go teenage years, who was your favorite either musician or musical group as a teenager?
Wow.
So I'm going to throw that at you while I take another sip of this Ozark Beer Company beverage.
Yeah, my music, I love music, and one of them is Van Halen.
Nice. Who we just lost, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah. And Boston.
Nice. Until they came out with their silly album the second time.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I love Rush.
Nice. Listen to me when I say this. My first concert. Are you ready, brother?
Oh, Jesus.
First of all, I'd never even heard of the band that opened for him, but that's okay. They were really pretty good. Some of you out there, old schoolers, might have heard of them, but I saw Rush at a concert in a place called Pocatello, Idaho, at Idaho State University. And opening for Rush was Uriah Heep.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And then I went with my buddy Kenny Holmes and his oldest brother, who looked like Grizzly Adams. I kid you not. And the Rush concert was unbelievable. That drummer for them, you couldn't even see the dude. All you could do was hear him and see some sticks. And towards the end of the concert, he threw out a drumstick and it hit me. We were 2 feet from the barriers and it hit me right square in the chest. And I was so excited, I went to grab it. It kind of fell, so I bent over to grab it. And this full-grown man, as you say, grown-ass man, flies over, knocks me to the ground, and grabs the drumstick. And he stands up and he's screaming like victory. But my friend Kenny's older brother, Grizzly Adams lookalike, took that guy to town. Now, I did not get the drumstick, but neither did he. That's all I'm going to say. That is awesome that's one of your favorite all time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, mine, bar none, was Aerosmith. I had every single album. I drew every album cover. Back then, for some reason, I had some artistic talent. I do not possess any of that anymore. But I loved and I listened to their albums. I lived in the basement of this 3-story home that we finally were able to get into after remodeling. It was an old apartment thing, and it was just hideous. So I got the whole basement, so I could just rock out, Roddy. I would listen to Aerosmith, every album, over and over again. Then Aerosmith decided to become the manufacturer of love ballad after love ballad after love ballad instead of rock and roll, and I have sworn them off. And I don't listen to anything new. I'll go back. I will listen to some old stuff, but the end of Aerosmith was, what was the movie where they had the asteroid coming at the Earth with Bruce Willis and all those people in it. Ben Affleck was in it, and Aerosmith did the love ballad for that, and that was the beginning of the end. Anyway, it was hurtful.
Yeah.
So, all right. That being said, who is currently on your radar?
I am neglectic. I'm neglectic. Not
Eclectic.
Eclectic.
Nice.
Eclectic. I love all music.
Nice.
Love music.
I do too.
So now in my my old youthful stuff
Mm-hmm.
or not. I love the blues. The blues.
Yep. Yeah.
I love blues.
Okay.
So and then R&B.
Nice. Solid. Solid.
So it's just my in my comfortable clothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you two of mine because, well, one of them is my favorite. The other one's a runner-up. My runner-up, who my wife has been so awesome to get me tickets to, I think three times, is J.J. Gray and Mofro, or J.J. Gray Mofro, nickname from high school was Mofro. The dude is unbelievable. His concerts, he's usually got 8 to 10 to 12 piece band. His I think his saxophone player looks like Albert Pujols. I mean, come on, can't go wrong with that, right? So he's awesome. And then I'm telling you, they're my favorite band of all time, and just so many albums out there with so many different sounds are the Black Keys. I just absolutely love them. And my wife got me tickets to see them in Kansas City. We went to the Boulevard Brewing Company, which is righteous, and then we went to that concert, and it was old school. There were, they had a big screen behind them with them playing, and they had some images, but it was nothing like, there was no raising stages, which I don't have anything against that. I'm all for it, but it was just old school rock concert, get after it, and it was just awesome. Now, somebody on my radar new is a guy, I like all type of music just like you do, and I like reggae, and sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. There's a dude called Stick Figure.
Yeah.
If you've not heard of him, dude is solid, got a really nice sound to him, so check him out as Stick Figure. I think that name is classic, but check them out. All right, Roddy, we just jumped back into time a little bit. I'm trying to get people to know us a little bit so that, when they're listening to us, they're like, oh, I get where these dudes come from, or I don't understand them at all. Maybe they'll know why they don't understand us at all. So what do you want to go over? You want to talk a little bit about maybe how your family has been doing during this entire thing? Has it changed your relationships with them? Or, I know we're doing this as a podcast and they may eventually listen, but you got to tell what you're seeing, and maybe if something hits them the wrong way, we can all talk that out. But just what do you think? What do you feel?
My mom is my mom is a rock.
Yeah.
After my stroke, I was like, I couldn't do anything. The simplest things. I couldn't remember. I couldn't communicate. So I was like, it's like, like I said, my brain was it was fried. So I'm trying to get to normalcy, but so I have so my mom's like, I have to do my the word is, I have to have some money. So I'm trying to to do some work, my mom to do some work about the work of some of my money. And
because you couldn't work anymore as a railroad engineer. So she's trying to pull that money from your, was it a retirement at this point, or was it just to get money?
Just get some money.
Okay.
So, and and now I am trying to do, now my mom was saying it's going to be retirement, but we have to do some nooks and crannies to get this.
Right.
So it's been a year and a half of trying to.
That was a long process.
Yeah, trying to. Now I am better with my money.
Right.
I have a pension, thank God.
Yes.
So I'm retired, and that's That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Although, let's not kid ourselves. You've many times said you still would love to work.
Yeah, I
Many
would love
times.
to do.
Yeah, 'cause you're a hard worker.
I love the job.
Yeah.
And my coworkers, camaraderie, to talk about, kid about. It was a good time.
Hey, just came across my mind. Let's throw this out there for people to know about you. What was your degree in before you became a railroad engineer? What did you go to school for?
College was criminology and a major in psychology.
Nice. Yep. That's kind of what you were interested in. And then what happened something happened in the country that was going on where the hiring kind of got froze or something?
It's President Bush.
Okay.
And they were froze about the economic and stuff.
Budgetary.
Yeah.
So they froze hiring.
Yeah.
Right when you graduated.
Yeah.
And you were like, well,
what am I going to do?
Somebody got to make some money.
Yeah. So I have a friend who is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you want a job? You have a job? And it's like, I would love to have a job. So
yeah.
And the way we go of.
But you were very drawn into psychology and the criminal part of that. That was a peak interest of yours. I mean, enough for you to go to school for it. So
yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
But you still were able to draw much enjoyment from your career as a railroad engineer, and you were just rolling.
Yeah.
You were just rolling.
Yeah.
And as we stated in our previous show, we'll wrap this one up a little bit, but as you were saying, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with you as you were just going through life. You were living, taking care of your body, physically getting after it. You got your job, and then boom.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, we're going to fold this one down for tonight, and we appreciate you being here. If you got friends that you think might enjoy this, if you have anybody that's gone through either a similar situation or just a situation and you think they might draw from this, and I'm going to try to get Roddy, we're going to try to get him set up with an email before we get these all going so that you guys communicate back and forth with him. I think for him to be able to talk beyond this would be great. So, I mean, this is kind of what I'm hoping is just a sounding board for Roddy to get his story out there and for him to be able to start communicating with other people. I love the guy like a brother. He loves me, but he deserves to talk to more than just me. So let's try to make that happen for him, all right? Peace out. Love you, Roddy.